Welcome to Lynn Lineup, where we focus on the events that are happening right here in Lynn. I'm your host, Medina Sehi, and today I'm here with Debby Segil, the manager of the Caregiver Program at Greater Lynn Senior Services, and Taylor Lamberta, the Caregiver Support Specialist at Greater Lynn Senior Services. And today we'll be talking about GLSS's In the Moment Memory Cafe, which is happening every third Thursday of each month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Lynn Museum. I want to say thank you for coming in today.
Well, it's our pleasure, and it's always a great pleasure for us to talk about the Memory Cafe.
Yeah.
The Memory Cafe kind of developed because we realized that caregivers taking care of persons with memory loss needed a place to go with their person that would be comfortable, where they could have some fun. And so we tried to develop a structure that would provide safety and respect and interesting things for a couple to do. We wanted the couple to be able to have kind of a normal experience of just going out, the two of them, not worrying about who was the caregiver and who was the person with memory loss. So we don't talk about that at all. We just have a very nice social activity. And Taylor can tell you a little bit more about the structure of the cafe itself, what we do.
So every time we have a cafe, our guests join us and we start with refreshments. We take a few minutes to socialize and unwind, and then usually after that we do about 45 minutes of programming, which we feel like is a good amount of time where the participants are still interested, but no one's getting too tired or ready to move on. And after we have a different program, then we just kind of relax and end the day and set up for whatever we'll be talking about next time. We've had a series of different programs. We've had a drum circle, we've had a baseball cafe. Last month we did a gardening cafe. So we've had a bunch of different topics and activities, something for everyone.
Are those supposed to relax the people, or are they supposed to be more?
Well, let me tell you about some of the comments that we've gotten from people who have attended. If you don't mind, I made a list because it was so interesting about why do you come to the cafe. So one person said, well, it gets us out, keeps my wife active, and that's why I came. I came for my wife to have a good time. Another person said, this is a wonderful place to socialize with other couples who are really in the same boat that you're in. And so you don't have to explain things. Nobody's judgmental. Everybody's very accepting. Someone said, seeing people smiling and laughing, having familiar faces and making new friends is what makes the cafe so good. And one person said, after we leave, my husband, who has memory loss, seems happier and more content for the rest of the day. So I thought those were some of the nice comments. We get very positive feedback.
Yeah.
We've also noticed that people who come more regularly, a couple may come in the beginning and the person may be very shy and not too willing to get engaged in the activities, and we just leave people alone. We don't pressure anyone.
Okay.
But after 2 or 3 times, they begin to make friends, they feel at home, and they get very engaged in whatever we offer them. So that's very nice too.
Are the activities meant to strengthen someone's brain?
Not necessarily. I'll let Taylor talk to you about the activities because she's been managing them.
You asked before if they were more stimulating or relaxing.
Yeah.
There's definitely some discrepancy about new learning with something like dementia. So our goal really is to just enjoy ourselves and to have a nice time. And when I do the programming, I take into strong consideration limitations, what somebody's ability would range, how to set somebody up for success and not frustration. So we choose activities that we feel that everybody can participate on in some level.
One of the things that happens when you're caring for someone with memory loss, for the caregiver, it becomes very isolating. They're not able to do their usual social activities. They can't go out and be as relaxed as they used to be. So I think that was kind of our main purpose, was to give them some alternatives and some other ways to spend their time. So when we program the activities, we find that the caregivers enjoy them equally with the people who have some memory loss. And so they're often looking for something different, and this is what we try to offer them. It's a small segment of time in a month of caregiving, but I think that people enjoy it, and it helps them. The Caregiver Program was developed because, maybe 10 or 11 years ago, there was really a realization that we could give services to the people in the home who need them, but we weren't doing anything for the caregivers. And caregiving is a very challenging job, and so that was how we kind of have been developing anything that we can do that improves the life of both the person with memory loss and the caregiver.
Could you explain GLSS and its mission?
Well, GLSS has been in Lynn for a very long time. We have a catchment area, so we serve 5 communities. We serve Lynn, Lynnfield, Saugus, Swampscott, and Hunt. And our mission really is to give care to elders in their homes. I think that was how the mission started, so that people who need either personal care at home or assistance with housework or meals, things that people are no longer able to do for themselves and who need assistance. So that's really the mission of GLSS, is to make life better for elders. And the Caregiver Program is just a part of our community service programs.
The Memory Cafe kind of builds upon that mission because it's part of what's called a dementia-friendly communities effort. So it's carving out a space within the community that is well-educated, takes into consideration any accommodations for memory concern, and really welcomes people out of their homes into the space that, you know, has carefully thought out ideas on how to support the community. It's one of many possible spaces, and Debbie and I are working on trying to create others.
I don't know if anybody's been to the Lynn Museum, but it is a wonderful venue, and we're very grateful to them that they're able to host us. We've also gotten some wonderful donations from people in the community that have helped us finance. We don't have a grant for it, so we kind of depend upon that for supplies and snacks and some of our programming. But the cafe itself has really changed the lives of many of the people that we're serving. We started with just 3 or 4 couples who came. We had 3, and this last month, which was our first year anniversary, we actually had 20 people there. So that's a very nice amount of people to have a good time with. And to meet other people with.
Do you want to explain the app that you were telling me about?
Oh, yes. We developed an app that we call Caregivers Matter. And it's free. And every caregiver should download it. It goes onto either an iPhone or an Android. And it starts with a little ballad, a song, that if people sing it every morning and listen, it kind of reminds them of what to do and what not to do to have a good day. And then there's a whole series of activities and tips and things to help them through the day. You want to talk about some of the activities, Taylor?
And the activities that we run at the cafe are, you know, with the intention that we'll take some of the burden off of the caregiver, so that we'll come up with what we'll be doing that day, and they don't have to think every single day, how do I entertain, you know, my loved one? And then the activities that are on the app are things that can be a little bit more easy to manage in the home. There's some activities on the go. I basically just break down very simple steps on how to structure and support the person doing the activity, so that they don't have to necessarily come up with the creative component. They just have to follow the instructions and see what best fits the person they're caring for.
The way this developed is we were getting many phone calls, especially during the winter, when somebody caring for someone with memory loss, it wasn't a day for them to go to an adult day health center. There was nobody coming to the home. And people would call and say, you know, what am I going to do all day with my person? And so that was why we thought it would be helpful if they had an app that they could just tap on and get this information.
That's amazing that they can come every third Thursday for that, and then also have an app for it. So that's awesome.
They can also always call Taylor and me at the Caregiver Program at GLSS. We do a lot of individual counseling with families, because every family is different. Every person with dementia is different. And we also do some support groups in Lynnfield and Saugus, and we have one in Lynn. And so we try to reach out in different ways to caregivers.
That is the GLSS's In the Moment Memory Cafe, which is happening every third Thursday of each month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Lynn Museum, which is located at 590 Washington Street. And I say thank you to the crew for filming this, and thank you for watching. From the LCTV studio, I'm Medina Sehi. There's so many amazing things happening in Lynn, and we hope you can come on down and experience them with us.